Alright, this lesson is going to be about how to do advertising with the white egg that we're going to choose to use as sort of our Easter egg. This is the Easter part of the year, and we're coming up on our Easter break, so I thought it'd be appropriate to do a little advertising with an egg. So follow the steps here. First thing you're going to do is open your white egg, and once it opens, you're going to notice that it's pretty bright, and so what we're going to need to do is change the contrast level of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into our image menu, and we're going to go to our adjustments, and we're going to take some of the brightness and the contrast out of this picture. And the first thing you're going to see is this little menu right here. I'm going to move mine over just a little bit so I can see the whole egg, because really what I'm concerned about is this area right down through here where it's so bright that the egg and the area that it's sitting wash out. So I want to make this a little bit darker. This is going to help also to take our egg and give it some shape and some volume behind it. So you don't have to make it quite this dark. I mean, you can see just how pixely and ugly it looks like that. So we're going to be a little more gentle with our egg, and we're only going to take this up to about a 50 or a 60. It really depends on what you want to do. 61 is fine. I may want to take a little contrast out of this. As you can see, as I go to the plus side, it gets brighter, minus side a little darker, and again I'm only going to take out probably about a 10 right in there, and you can round these numbers off if you want. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm just going to say okay, and now I'm ready to go. So now our egg is all ready and set to go. The next thing you're going to want to do is go to the internet, and you're going to want to go to the internet and go to Google Images. And as soon as you do that, we're going to select Google and Google Images, and what we're going to do is we're going to select products such as Coca-Cola or Skittles or Tide detergent. So pretty much any product will work. So let's just go ahead and do a Ruffles potato chips here, and I'm going to select that and the images, and so here we go. So what I'm looking for here is make sure you don't choose this GIF. This is wrong right here. We want the JPEG. Okay, so let's go ahead, and you can look around also. I mean, there are other images here that you could use. This is a good one here. This would be good. We've got all different kinds. Notice the number is 500 by 500. That's really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the JPEG image here, and I'm going to go to the full size image. And when I do that, once this image opens up, now I'm going to take this image and drag it and drop it onto my desktop. And as soon as I do that, I want to make sure that I rename this right name. That way I can find it when I select it and look for it in my search. And I'm just going to name it Ruffles and JPEG. I'm going to keep that. And so now I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now what I'm going to do is open that file here. So here's where we begin. I'm going to open the photograph or the image that I saved onto my desktop. And so I'm going to scroll to where it says desktop here, desktop, and scroll to desktop, and there it is. Oh, that's the one that I chose, which I don't want. That's a GIF. We don't want the GIF. We want Ruffles with a JPEG. So do we have that? There it is. It's right there, Ruffles with a JPEG. So make sure you get the right file. Now I'm simply going to take this image, and I'm going to take my move tool, and I'm going to drag it over to this image and drop it. And notice it's quite a bit smaller, so I'm going to have to resize it, and that's fine. But when I resize it, I want to be able to see the egg so that I can make sure that I resize this image, the Ruffles image, properly. So I'm going to take out the opacity. Let's take this down quite a bit so it's very soft, and now I can go ahead and resize this so that it covers the whole egg. And you can see that you have to stretch quite a bit here, and that's fine. Just go ahead and stretch. And it's all right if these letters run off, because what you'll see here is as it rolls off, it is going to help our image to look more rounded, more realistic. So let's go ahead and apply what we just did. So we'll go ahead and save and apply, and it'll re-image. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to turn this eyeball off, because now I need to lasso this image. Okay, so I'm going to select my egg layer in my palette here, and as you can see, I've only got 3 layers so far. I turned off layer number 2 here, and I'm selecting layer number 1, which is the egg, and I'm going to rename these. So I'm going to name this my ruffles, and I'm going to rename this my egg layer. And now you can see that we're all set to go here. So the next step here is going to be to take the egg and lasso it with the magnetic lasso. And so that's what I'm going to do next, is use my magnetic lasso. And before I get started, I want to make sure that I set my feather to 2 pixels, maybe even 3. So I'll go ahead and select that onto my 3. Okay. Now at this time you can see that none of my layers are chosen, so I've got to choose a layer or my lasso isn't going to work. So I'm going to start off down here at the bottom, and I'm just going to drag nice and slowly around my egg, and I'm not going to worry too much about my magnetic lasso, because it does all the work for me. And as you can see, I'm taking my time here. I'm trying to stay as close to the edge as possible. I don't want to get into a situation, and there you can see it just jumped on me a little bit. I'm going to back up, and there we go. I'm going to back up a little more, and now we'll go here. So I'm going to try and drag so that I don't run into any issues. So I'm going a little bit more slowly, because I want to make sure that it doesn't do what it just did there, which is it's jumping a little bit. And so if I have to, I'll just reselect that outer edge and tell this computer magnetic lasso which pixels to search for. And that's really what we're doing here, is we're getting the lasso to search for correct pixels. Now when we get to the bottom here, you may run into a little bit of an issue where the egg doesn't lasso correctly, because these pixels are so light and dark. And that's why we set our feather to a 2 or a 3, maybe even a 4, so that we can get a nice soft image here with our ruffles picture. So now I'm going to turn the ruffles back on, and I'm going to select the ruffles layer, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my layer menu, new, and layer via copy, and there you can see I just got a new layer. Let's turn this one off, and I'm going to rename this layer right here ruffles number 2. And now we're all set. Now you can see how this looks. It's already got volume to it, and that's because our image here is pretty light. Now that's the trick here. We're going to take our opacity back up, but not to 100%, because it just doesn't look right. So what we're going to do is take this opacity back down a little bit, because we want some of that egg shadow to come through, the shadowing that we had on the egg, which you can see now we've got a darker side and a lighter side. We want some of that to come through here. Now you've also got shadowing from the product, and so that doesn't help us, but what we can do is take our burn tool and set this exposure to about a 50%, and now we can take our burn tool and darken up this part of the egg down here where it should be darker. And notice I'm using the middle of my tool out, and I'm going to have to be careful with this, because I do already have shadowing here, and it could get quite dark in that spot where we don't want it to get dark. And so I'm just going to add some shadowing here, and that's pretty much it. Good luck with this, and choose as many different advertisements as you want, because this is our egg for Easter, so we're going to be doing advertising. So what you want to do now is work on that shadow here. You may even have to come in here and lighten up a bit, and so you may need to use your dodge tool to lighten up a little bit on this side, and you can see how it's getting nice and light over here, and so we can work with that a little bit. Alright, good luck to you, and if you have any questions, talk to me in class, and we'll see how things go. Good luck.